But let's start with the gent who is back with us, Gio Reyna, from exile, alongside the Robin to his Batman, Joe Scally, longtime wingman. You know him now as Golf Cart Joe. But Gio is the story. First of all, did his call-up surprise you? And I say surprise because our fallen young prince has played just 132 minutes for German duffers Borussia Mönchengladbach this season. 69 minutes under the US under Poch. Nice. And Poch, remember people, is a coach who preaches, this is his quote, players need to perform for their clubs. That's his cardinal rule. What do you make of Poch giving Gio a lifeline and hailing him as, quote, a special situation?
Mauricio Pochettino did say you need to play. You need to be a big player on your team to get called up. And he contradicted himself. But I'm okay with this. Now, he mentioned many times in his press conference Gio Reyna and referred to him as a special player. I counted 5 different times he said special player. Maybe there was more. In every team I've been on, there have been special cases, special players who get treated differently. If he doesn't bring Gio in now, he's not going to bring him in March. He needs to see what Gio Reyna is about now, because come March, that's your last window, Raj. That's got to be your team. That's got to be, I'm going to the World Cup with these 26 players. That's got to be the moment. So you got to see what he has. And what better opportunity against what I think is very stingy, defensive specialist in Paraguay, Uruguay. For a player in Gio Reyna, you just mentioned his minutes. 100 and what was that?
132 minutes for Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That's 132 more minutes than he got in the last 3 years at Dortmund. Okay? He sees something at Gladbach, and he's like, you know what? I'm intrigued.
Does he though? I mean, Henry Bushnell tweeted, Gio Reyna's played fewer club minutes this year than any other US men's national team player, hasn't scored or created a goal since January. Players need to perform has been the rule for months. You know, the reality is, when we say he is a special player, are we using the tense wrong there? Is it he was a special player and we're going off the Gio of our imagination? I mean, it's not because of anything he's actually done on the field, but this is purely based on our memory, our sincerely beautiful memories. Oh, is it the Gio of our imaginations that's been called up?
I asked myself that same question, and I said to myself, did this kid peak at 16 years old, 17 years old? Is that where he peaked? And then I thought to myself, well,
I did, and it's a horrible way to live a life.
It is a horrible way to live a life. But then I thought to myself, let's go back, Raj, and look at the finals. The Nations League finals that this kid has played under. Greg Berhalter, BJ Callahan. He's been a big-time player. Semifinals in big tournaments for the U.S. men's national team. He's been a big player. Goals, assists. Who can forget Haji Wright's double against Jamaica? That doesn't happen without Gio Reyna. Does not happen without Gio Reyna. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room. We can talk about how bad Gladbach is this season. They are terrible. They are terrible, and they are relegation battlers. But one of the first games I got to see Gio Reyna, they actually, I believe, lost 4-0. 4-0, I want to say it was Frankfurt. And I'm watching Gio Reyna play. Gio Reyna should have had a hat trick of assists. That's how bad some of his teammates were. So there's something there that makes Mauricio Pochettino say, you know what? Given the player pool that I have, he could be of use. And that's a huge step forward because March, the last time he was in camp, the Nations League where they lost to Panama, Panama wins that at the death. At the death. The 90-something minute. There was a moment in the 70th minute where he looks down the bench, Raj, and he's like, I need a goal. It's 0-0. And literally looks down the bench and sees Gio Reyna and says, nah, dog, I'm good. And goes the other way. Goes with a Brian White. So I'd like to think something's changed there.
Yeah, I mean, something has changed, and I want to try and understand it deeper. I mean, maybe the problem that he's trying to fill has changed. I don't know what it is. I want to say I am happy for Gio Reyna as a human being. You know, he came on our show last week. You can find that on our YouTube. I found it very moving to interview him, to listen to this kid, and he's still so unbelievably young. He's still just 22. He's a kid who not only has had everything in his world buckle in public, with his family, his club career, his international career conflating, spiraling together in this mess. And then you layer on injury after injury. And man, you listen to him, this is the kid that's clearly suffered so much. You know, he was once on the same Starboy trajectory as his friend Erling Haaland. And now He's on the bench in a German relegation battle team, but he's barely getting minutes. So God bless. I wish him redemption. I really do. I root for him. But it's a gamble by Pochettino because it completely changes the dynamic and the message he's been giving to all the other players. Why would he take this gamble now in this window? Does this risk tell us about what Pochettino thinks he's missing in this squad that would lead him to take this gamble in the first place?
I think you're 100% on the money, Raj. I think he's looking around at the player pool and saying, when it comes to creative players, if I'm going to play with dual 10s, I don't have creative players. I don't have that type of animal. When Weston McKennie was in the last camp, Weston played as a dual 10. That's not his position. So he's probably thinking to himself, I am missing something. If the line of 5, the 3 center backs, is the way to go because it's been good for us, well, then I got to find my 10s. And proof of that is Brendan Aronson's back in the fold. Proof of that is Diego Luna's gotten a good run. Proof of that is Weston McKennie's played the 10 spot. That spot is going to be there to stay. And if that's the case, and you look at the pool that you have, well, you'd be hard-pressed to find better 10s in their moment at their ceiling than Gio Reyna.
In our imagination. So I want to get to these other positions, but I do want to know what's success for Gio Reyna in this window? Because that midfield depth chart, I talked to him about it. It is probably the most stacked, most competitive position in the current squad. Does Gio have to start and show he can bring the vision, the line breaking that the other options just can't see or do?
I think Gio needs to have 1 or 2 big moments. I'm talking Azteca versus Mexico, swallows 70 yards, puts it on Jordan Pifok's foot type of deal inside the 6. Like something special to make Mauricio Pochettino say, you know what? Given the fact that he doesn't play at his club, it's just too good what I see. I'm going to roll the dice with this kid because come World Cup time, there's going to be a moment where we're playing on the back foot or maybe we're down a goal and I need to just throw everything forward and maybe he can unlock a defensive line the only way he can with individual brilliance, if that still exists for Gio Reyna, because we've not seen it in quite some time, but I think he's rolling the dice here, and I applaud him for it.